Some treasures disappear forever, but others resurface, like the sunken treasure of Belitung. Once submerged in a reef somewhere in the Java Sea, the treasure now holds pride of place in the heart of the Asian Civilizations Museum in Singapore. Presented in a display that evokes the benevolent and impetuous waves on which it once sailed, the Belitung treasure contains remarkable riches. It is also connected to the great history of the Silk Roads, synonymous with human adventure, full of wonder and peril. You're listening to Voice of Jewels, a podcast from L'École, School of Jewelry Arts, supported by Cleef Arpels, unveiling the stories and secrets behind history's most fascinating jewels. Java Sea, 842 AD. Ahmad has the impression that if he stretches out his arms, he could practically touch the coasts of Bangka and Belitung, the two islands between which his ship is sailing. He is at the helm of an Arab dhow, which has just entered the Gaspar Strait, a narrow passage with turquoise waters, a veritable paradise, were it not for the perilous reefs lurking underneath. The strait is an important stage on the maritime Silk Road, one that will bring Ahmad home to Muscat in the Gulf of Oman. Suddenly, a shiver runs down the young captain's spine. He is filled with a fearful foreboding. Like Greek sailors, scared at the thought of coming across Charybdis or Scylla, the two monsters believed to devour reckless navigators. Ahmad begins to doubt his mission. Perhaps he made a mistake embarking on a voyage like this one? But his uncle, who chartered the ship, is counting on him to return safely. On board, Ahmad is carrying a fabulous treasure. Responsible for transporting an exceptional cargo from Chang'an, the Chinese capital of the Tang Empire, to his beloved Muscat. Out of nowhere, the sky turns dark gray. A violent downpour hits the surface of the deck, and an immense swell begins to form. A storm is coming. Ahmad clings to the helm. The treasure and his own life now hang in the balance.
Alors, assez récemment, en 1998,
Relatively recently, in 1998, an incredible discovery was made by fishermen off the Indonesian island of Belitung.
Léonard Pouy, art historian and content and transmission manager at L'École, School of Jewelry Arts.
En fait, ils vont découvrir une épave de vaisseau, d'un bateau qui contenait...
They discovered a shipwreck containing over 60,000 pieces of Chinese ceramics, the iconic blue and white from the Tang period, as well as gold and silver tableware and bronze objects. These riches would considerably add to our knowledge of the region during this period.
Et de la région et de cette période.
All around the dhow, the storm rages. Gusts of wind fling the large square sail in all directions as if possessed. It seems to him that a jinn or an evil spirit has become angry somewhere up there in the clouds. Treacherous waves, capped with swirling eddies of foam, hit the hull from all sides like sharks trying to swallow Ahmad and his crew whole. He feels his hands sliding on the wet and slippery helm. Desperately, he tightens his grip. He absolutely must save his ship, his life, and his precious cargo. For this cargo could change everything. The wealth it could bring to his family defies imagination, but it would also bring him fame. Returning to Muscat and Baghdad with this extraordinary treasure would make the young captain a very important person. Objects like the one he is transporting are highly sought after by rich merchants, and even the court of the Abbasid Caliph. In their eyes, Ahmad would be the man who tamed the seven seas to bring home a myriad of wonders. People everywhere would compare him to the legendary Sinbad. Perhaps then, the beautiful Ulaya would look upon him favorably. The bewitching Ulaya, with whom Ahmad has fallen hopelessly in love. But Ahmad is still far from the safety of the port. The treasure is not yet saved. He entrusts the helm to his valiant second-in-command. Buffeted by the powerful winds that batter the ship, he runs from the hold to the stern in a frenzied effort to protect the treasure, sealed in jars filled with rice straw.
It is the 9th century, and we discover in the ship's cargo a vast array of high-quality blue and white Chinese ceramics in a remarkably good state of preservation.
Beher, art historian and lecturer at l'École, School of Jewelry Arts.
These were undoubtedly luxury items and were accompanied by some pure gold tableware objects that have greatly surprised specialists. At the time, the same degree or quality of artisanry did not exist in the West. And interestingly, these gold objects may actually have been intended for the ship's crew, or even the captain's cabin. Perhaps the captain of this Arab dhow drank from this gold cup.
The rudder gives way. His second-in-command cries out for help. The ship veers dangerously to one side to take on the swell. Suddenly, a mast breaks and collapses, smashing the deck. Ahmad is certain. His boat is going to sink. The treasure will be swallowed by the waves. Yet the determined Ahmad does not falter. He recalls an old Indian merchant he met in China, in the cosmopolitan city of Chang'an. The old man had told him how Buddha teaches merchants to be fearless in order to frighten away evil forces, and how at the end of the world, or the great destruction he called Samvata, would be followed by a recreation. By now, the ship is taking on water from all sides. Through the dense clouds and driving rain, Ahmad spies the coastline. Land at last. He shakes his head in disbelief. His treasure may sink. His fame will never be that of Sinbad the sailor. But he and his crew are saved. The young captain can return to Baghdad and hear once again his beautiful Ulaya's voice, sweet as honey, perfumed with cloves.
What is impressive about this collection is that it is so rich and exhaustive, and of such remarkable quality that it would lay the foundations of the Asian Civilizations Museum in Singapore, not far from Belitung. This extensive collection provided the foundations of a new museum, the aim of which is to present and preserve this treasure, and to share it with the widest possible audience. Almost 1,200 years after the creation of these pieces, we realize that globalization is not a new phenomenon. Maritime Silk Roads once existed connecting the Arabian Peninsula to China, passing through Indonesia, with possibly even Japan as an endpoint. Several countries then were involved in the exchange of very high-quality luxury products over continental Asia, continental China, Southeast Asia, and the Arabian Peninsula. The Asian Civilization Museum in Singapore was one of the first to shine a light on this maritime Silk Road and to showcase the exchanges and encounters between peoples and cultures. Although the museum is called the Asian Civilizations Museum, it could easily be called the World Civilizations Museum, as the history it presents goes beyond that of Asia alone.
Voice of Jewels, a podcast from L'École School of Jewelry Arts, supported by Cleef Arpels, with Léonard Pouy, art historian and content and transmission manager at L'École School of Jewelry Arts. Her, art historian and lecturer at L'École School of Jewelry Arts, written by Martin Quenehen and Aram Kebabdjian, performed by Edoardo Ballerini and produced by Bababam.